wrote some copy in the past or something, because like the shit that you have come out, it's like, damn, right? So how did you put all that together and how did you make that happen? And then I want to also, for this entire group, I want to thank you for doing that, because right now I know off the top of my hand, I know 10 or 15 people. I know 10 that's reached out to me directly that are using this, that all landed over 100 screencasts with it in the last week.
Sorry about that.
Hey man, so freaking amazing videos that you dropped last week inside the group. I see tons of people using it and they're just like blown away. I've actually had a couple students reach out and was like, oh my God, have you seen Rob's shit? It's like they dropped it and they're like, it even works for local. They're like, they dropped it and they're getting local shit right around them like all day long. And so I think what you've done is amazing. Giving back to this group is fucking amazing. That's what family's all about. But tell us a little bit about it for any of these guys that maybe didn't see it get dropped last week. Tell us kind of what you went through. And then I'm really big on the process you go through too, because, right, like that's kind of what makes like real inventors, right? They're taking like ideas and focus in some of your past and what you have. And I can tell you probably wrote some copy in the past or something, because like the shit that you have come out, it's like, damn, right? So how did you put all that together and how did you make that happen? And then I want to also, for this entire group, I want to thank you for doing that, because right now I know off the top of my hand, I know 10 or 15 people. I know 10 that's reached out to me directly that are using this, that all landed over 100 screencasts with it in the last week.
Awesome. Yeah, I've definitely gotten quite a few message requests myself from not only new band members, but band members that have been in the group for a little while. And they just kind of wanted my take on what I've done and how I did it. But to be honest with you, I can't even really take full credit because I simply took a few other people's methods and just kind of tweaked them. You know, Bryce, for instance, you should most certainly get credit for a lot of this, you know, and a lot of other people too. But I just kind of made it my own, you know, and through trial and error of about, I don't know, at least a month and a half of like 80-hour weeks, like trying to really get this right. One day, all of a sudden, just like in the morning time, it was like 8 o'clock in the morning, I made this whole new script. I put it out there, and like 2 hours later, everything was just like blowing up. And I was just like, I'm onto something here.
Well, that's what it takes, man, because like systems that may work at one time, they start to mess up, and you got to kind of, you reinvent. And that's what you've done here, is that you've taken probably something that kind of sparked your idea in the course. Cause I know I teach on some kind of prospecting in groups, but it's nothing compared to what you guys have. But you probably went, okay, that's a good idea. And then you seen Bryce's post and you're like, okay, I'm kind of getting it. And then boom, you made your own system out of it. And your system's just like fucking clockwork. You know what I mean? Like these people are telling me they're posting and they're like, next morning, they're waking up 50, 60 screencasts. You know what I mean? And so what you created is just fucking, it's badass. That's why we're badass marketers. So thank you first off. And then like, tell me your background a little bit. I know you guys are sitting here, like you're now shooting screencasts. I know you're now landing clients, right? Because it's all about lines in the water. Tell me a little bit about your background. I believe you both, like you're done, you quit your jobs, you're ready to go. You're getting ready to jump into Sales Accelerator, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. And I would love to tell you a little bit about our background for sure. Just real quick, if it's okay with you, I just wanted to say, I love what you're talking about before we came on. Like, so you can ask my wife here, like she is not a risk taker, but I most certainly am. But the way I go to bat with all my risk, and I've been fairly successful in my endeavors over the past few years, luckily so far, this has been my most successful thing. Joining your awesome army. But I will say this, if the risk is not any less than 70 or 80%, and if it, I will or will not do it. So you do have to most certainly judge the risk and gauge it. You don't want to be stupid with your decisions. You don't want to do something that's obviously going to have 50% or less because, especially if you're investing thousands of dollars or something, but you're most certainly right. You have to take risk. Otherwise, you're never going to get your reward. And I love also that you said the whole fact of take someone else's, maybe not shortcomings, but something that they may have started and they were onto something, but they just never followed through. And not just make it your own, but just turn it into something completely different. And, that's the beauty of, it's almost like an art form in marketing, if you will, and just sales in general. So I really appreciate that, man. But,
well,
as
you
for our,
know as well as I do, like 80% of people out there that are creating something, they get something to 80, 90%, and they're all missing the marketing piece. Almost all businesses, almost all ideas, almost everything out there, they're missing the marketing, or they don't have the money for the marketing, or they give up and they just don't know how to pull it off, right? They got this great idea, they got this great product, they got this great service, whatever it is, and they tried to take it to market multiple times and they failed, and they kind of just gave up and sat back, right? So you can step in and go, hey, listen, I got you. I'll fund it. I'll buy in at this percentage. I'll do this. I'll do the marketing. And you can make a killing doing that, guys. I do it all the time. I'm finding deals like this at least once a month. I'm pulling a deal that's 70 to 90% all the way there. The product's already done. The casting's done. I just did this thing on this punch ball. It's actually for boxing, and it's like you don't wear any gloves or anything, but if you know those round balls that kind of bounce back and forth, this actually tells you the velocity in which you're hitting it, and your coach can sit back on an app and track it. But this guy had it all done. The molding's done, had the pricing done, the outsourcing, all that shit, and didn't know how to take it to market. And I just went in. I was just like, listen, I'm going to step in. I'm going to help you with this. And I just went in and I seriously just started freaking hitting them on Facebook with anybody that liked title boxing. And we just started murdering it. Blah, 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 blah. It was crazy, like overnight success. But listen, I didn't create the product. This guy that created it, his name's Sammy. He's been in boxing for 40 years. He's known, like he's got pictures with freaking Mike Tyson. So he has all this success, but he just didn't know how to market. And you can step in, guys, with the tools and the resources that you guys have. You can step in and find deals like this all the time. And there's nothing wrong with it. These guys, if they didn't have you, if they didn't have you to step in, they would never be successful. They would never get their product to the market. They would never have their baby come to fruition, and that's what they want. So they're willing to take a little less of the pie or whatever it may be to get that thing to market, to make it happen, right? And you guys are trained so well that where you can put your money where your mouth is. You know what I mean? Like I'll do deals, right? Like I'll start out deals where like if I don't sell 100,000 units, you don't have to pay me shit. Like cover the cost of the marketing, that's it. We'll keep track of it. And then I just know I can sell 100,000 units. So guess what? It's going to be mine.